สถานีวิทยุสรานรม AM 1575การทูตเพื่อประชาชน
เพื่อไทยก้าวไกลทันโลก
Swadika and good late afternoon. Today is Monday, the July 9th, 2018, and you're here with me, Sadiqa Mujahid, and this is News and Views, which is on air radio streaming at 6 to 6:30 p.m. every Monday. And if you're ever on the radio, be sure to tune in to AM 1575 gigahertz to listen to me at 6 and 6:30 p.m. as well. If not, you can turn on to our webpage, the saranrom.mfa.go.th, to listen to the radio streaming, as well as live on Facebook. It depends on when we usually live the program, put the program on Facebook. So if you're actually serving Facebook right now, you'll see me live. But if not, you can listen to the radio streaming as a rerun at 6 till 6:30. Right after the national anthem. Anyway, I just looked through my phone as our ritual, or my ritual actually, about the weather this week and next week as well. It looks like we'll be heading to heavy downpours almost every day. So like I've said in the past few weeks, be sure to pack an umbrella with you just in case, as well as a raincoat. I don't know. It depends on whoever likes to have an umbrella or a raincoat. So be sure to pack one of those, and if you're driving, be sure to drive carefully, because if you're living in Bangkok, of course, traffic will be horrendous after the rain, or especially during the rainfalls. So be sure to drive carefully and be sure to stay safe out there and keep out of the rain if possible. So be sure to look at the weather before you take off from work or from home or wherever you're planning to go. Anyways, for the past week, stories have been covered about the missing football team of adolescents, of 13 of them actually, who have been stuck in a cave. We have now found them, but we are still trying to get them out from the cave, and we still don't know how long that would take, because downpours and rain is hampering efforts, as well as they are stuck inside with high level of water, so they can't really dive out. And right now, rescuers, teams of police, all relevant agencies are working at their best just to get them out there. So here is a post from Bangkok Post, and it says here that heavy rainfall threat forces plan rethink. Now, the threat of rainfall is forcing rescue teams to revise an exit plan for the 12 young footballers and their coach who may have to be brought out of the partially flooded Tham Luang cave before their physical condition is fully restored. Now, at this stage, how and when the trapped Mupa, or wild boar team as it is known, will be extracted from the cave complex in Chiang Rai's Masai district remains a challenge. Now, one possibility is to keep the water level in the cave low by pumping the water out, so the 13 people who are nursing themselves back to health can dive out safely when they are ready. However, Rescue Operations Commander Narongsak Osotsatanon admitted yesterday, or rather on July the 5th, I think, yes, it's July the 5th, the rescue teams may not have time on their side, and they are concerned about weather conditions. Now, more rain is forecast next week, which can complicate the extraction. He said the rescue teams are worried about the water level in the cave and make calculations to determine the risk if more rain comes down and raises it further. Now, the tricky point in the cave is a narrow passage called Sam Yak. According to Mr. Narongsak, rescue teams are assessing how many days they have to pump the water out until the water level at Sam Yak falls to a manageable level, and how many hours they will have if they cannot maintain the water level. Now, we can't risk the cave being flooded, he said. We need to have a plan if we want to bring them out before their physical health is back 100%. We do have a plan, and if it all fits, we will proceed. The medical teams and the diver teams will determine things, he said. The group is being looked after by the medical teams and the Navy divers, who are teaching them how to use diving gear. Earlier, Mr. Narongsak said the group would be extracted when they were 100% physically fit. He said draining water outside the cave remains the core mission, and the boys and their coach are in good spirits. He said it would take time before the boys can talk to their waiting families, while telephone lines are being fed into the cave. noting that it takes about 11 hours to get in and out of Nern Nam Sao, the spot where they are taking shelter. While the 13 people will be taught how to dive, other rescue teams are searching for openings from the cave ceiling that can be used to extract the group. According to AFP, rescuers who reached the group of children trapped in the cave say finding them was the easy part. Getting the youngsters out safely will be the real challenge. The path back to the entrance is long, cramped, and at least partially submerged. It is possible some of the boys cannot swim, and all have been weakened by 12 nights underground. Japanese engineers have helped rigged up a pumping system that is reducing water levels by 1 centimeter every hour. And in connection to that, authorities to assess Thai boys for rescue as day progresses. Now, this is from the Sydney Morning Herald from Australia. Masai, the official overseeing the rescue operation of a soccer team trapped in a flooded cave in northern Thailand, says the boys and their coach may not all be extracted at the same time, depending on their health. Now, Chiang Rai Provincial Governor Narongsak Sathanakon said on Wednesday that all 13 may not come out at the same time. If the condition is right and if that person is ready 100%, he can come out. Now, he said authorities would evaluate their readiness each day and if there was any risk would not proceed. He said the team was recuperating. Authorities are still determining the best way to get the team out of the cave, options that include diving them out. Meanwhile, authorities have been working with Navy SEALs to run a fiber optic internet line into the flooded cave. Communication technician Puwanat Gaudam said once the cable was installed, phone calls to the cave would be possible. Rescue teams in northern Thailand were giving crash courses in swimming and diving as part of the preparations to extract a young soccer squad trapped in a cave and keen to end a harrowing ordeal. In the latest videos released by the Thai Navy, the boys and their coach say they're fine. The group entered the cave in northern Thailand on June the 23rd before flooding cut off the main entrance. Rescuers are studying how to extract them safely. And meanwhile, Xinhua News Agency said nobody, or rather the headline, Thai official says, still unsure about how soon boys trapped in cave could be evacuated rather, not excavated. Now, nobody seems to know as yet how many days it might take until the 13 adolescent males trapped inside a flooded cave, or rather 12 adolescent males as well as their coach trapped inside a flooded cave in northern Thailand can be brought out safely, according to a senior government official. Now, rescuers have prepared equipment and mapped out plans to evacuate the 12 youth soccer players aged between 11 and 16 years old and their 25-year-old coach from Tham Luang in Masai district of Chiang Rai province, about 860 kilometers north of Bangkok, where they have ended for a dozen days since June the 23rd. A team of experienced British divers found the boys alive and safe after they had dived about 3 kilometers deep in the cave's strongly flowing subterranean water, said Chiang Rai Provincial Governor Narongsak Thanakon. Though rescuers could not predict how long it would take for the boys to be evacuated safely, the provincial governor said they will certainly not do anything which might jeopardize the safety of the evacuees. Navy SEAL divers and paramedics have taken turns to take care of the boys who looked exhausted at a dry spot of flooded cave with food, medicine and supplies. The provincial governor commented that rescuers could not as yet tell how soon the boys will be brought out safely due to difficulties doing so. The subterranean water in the cave was flowing so fiercely it apparently discouraged the rescuers from putting the safety of the boys at risk, according to Narongsak, who is currently in charge of the rescue mission. For the time being, we cannot tell how many days it might take until the boys could be evacuated out of the cave safely, he said. Now, while waiting for the flowing streams to subside, the Navy SEAL divers were teaching the boys to dive with oxygen masks in preparation for the planned evacuation, he added. So once again, the provincial governor, the Chiang Rai provincial governor, Mr. Narongsak Thanakon. I'm sorry if I misspelled or mispronounced his name, but right now they're trying to determine of how long it would take to take the boys out from the cave, the boys along with their coach out from the cave. They're now getting crash courses on how to dive because the water is about 3 meters deep and it would be difficult for them just to dive outside from that spot. So right now they're getting courses on how they could actually dive out of the cave as quickly as possible because right now the weather is hampering efforts and they are afraid that, like I've said, next week rainfalls will be happening everywhere, including in Bangkok right here. So they are trying at their best to beat time and also the water level so that the boys could be rescued safely. Although they plan to wait for the boys as well as their coach's health to return to close to 100% as possible, but it's not because they're running out of time. So they're trying to give them crash courses and they're trying to get them out as soon as possible. So we'll see by the next few days of how well they can actually be done. I'm guessing that by today things will progress more and we'll know if they can safely be brought out of the cave. So we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose. And in connection to that, King Rama X and also said thank you to cave rescue teams. He said here that His Majesty the King has issued a message of appreciation, commendation and encouragement to the Thai and foreign teams who have located 12 young footballers and their coach trapped inside the Tham Luang caves in Chiang Rai since June the 23rd. I am pleased and greatly relieved to learn that on July 2nd, 2018, rescuer reached all 12 youth footballers of the Mupa Team Academy Football Club and their coach. This is good news not only for all Thais but also for those of the other nations who have been following the event. The letter, dated July 4th, said, "Now such an operation could not have been achieved unless there were unity of effort exerted by all in a disciplined manner, supported by great knowledge, the dedication and sacrifice. These people, including officials in Chiang Rai province, police, military officials, medical officers, nurses, special operation teams, volunteers from all over the country, experts from abroad who travelled great distances, and the mass media, both from Thailand and beyond, who provided full support as well as public encouragement and concern, have given a helping hand that was readily extended in complete disregard of self-interest." So yes, the King has also extended his gratitude to all relevant agencies from locally as from abroad out there for their efforts in trying to rescue the team as well as their coach. So I would also like to be a part of that, or a representative rather of the people of Thailand, to say thank you to everybody out there who's giving it their best to try to rescue everybody from the cave out there safely. So hopefully everybody will be rescued safely and sound. So fingers crossed and Godspeed everybody. Let's now take a short break and I'll be back in just a moment with more updates, so do stay tuned.
ต้องการเธอในตอนนี้ก็มีแค่เพียงฝันมาอยู่กับฉันมาแทนที่เธอในวันที่ฉันต้องการแค่ เพียงแค่ฝนตกลงที่หน้าต่างในบางคราเพียงแค่ฝนตกลงในวันหยุดในตอนเช้ามันก็อาจจะมีนิดเดียวที่คิดถึงเธอมันก็อาจจะเป็นครั้งเดียวที่พบรักเธอเพียงแค่ฝนตกลงที่หน้าต่างในบางคราเพียงแค่ฝนตกลงในวันหยุดในตอนเช้ามันก็อาจจะมีนิดเดียวที่คิดถึงเธอมันก็อาจจะเป็นครั้งเดียวที่พบรักเธอ
Alright, welcome back. You're still here with me on News and Views, and I am Sidisa Prashumyat. So we have been looking at some serious news or hard news, or actually an up-to-date event rather, that everybody is wishing that all the boys out there will be safe and sound when they come out from the cave. So yes, hopefully everything will go well. So right now, let's get some updates on the World Cup then. As you know, I haven't been really watching football anymore. I did when I was younger because I spent time in London. So by then, I was like a big fan of Manchester United and Liverpool because they had David Beckham and Michael Owen, but that was like 12, I don't even know how many years ago was that, more than a decade I suppose. I was really young, I was like 12, 11. So I haven't really been watching football anymore, but World Cup is a thing right now. So here's some updates about the World Cup and who's coming and the quarterfinals and whatever not. Quarter semifinals and results so far. I have gotten this on the result as the latest on Friday. So I'm hoping that by the end of today, there'll be more results coming out of who's winning and who's going on to the semifinals and the it should be the semifinals, right? The semifinals before the final on the 15th. So here it is. The first two World Cup 2018 quarterfinals take place on Friday, which is last Friday, as we lose two more of the 8 remaining teams. There are just 8 games left to play in Russia now as the tournament reaches the business end. Now on Tuesday of last week, the end of the round of 16 stage, England defeat Colombia on penalties to reach the quarterfinals. Now earlier in the day, I'm guessing it was on Friday, or rather Thursday, Sweden overcame Switzerland 1-0, setting up their quarterfinal against England. With a busy schedule, here's our guide on how to watch every second of the action. I got this from the Telegraph, so their action is the action mean the Telegraph, suggesting the action of watching the rest of the Football World Cup 2018. The full World Cup 2018 fixture schedule is included below, with timings, venues and TV channels included. So round of 16, well, it was no longer round of 16, so here's the results. So on June the 30th, France won Argentina 4-3. Uruguay beat Portugal 2-1. And then on Sunday, July the 1st, Spain had a draw with Russia at 1-1, and Russia wins 4-3 on penalties. And then Croatia and Denmark also got 1 goal each, and Croatia won 3-2 on penalties. And then on Monday, July the 2nd, Brazil won over Mexico 2-0. And then Belgium won Japan 3-2. Then Tuesday, July the 3rd, Sweden won 1-0 over Switzerland. Then Colombia and England was a draw at 1-1. Then England wins at 4-3 on penalties. Then the quarterfinals on Friday, July the 6th. So this was taken on July the 6th. So I still have a little update on who the winning was between France and Uruguay, as well as on Brazil and Belgium. Also on Saturday, July the 7th as well, between Sweden and England, as well as Russia and Croatia. So the semi-final fixtures matches in bold are potential England fixtures. So Tuesday, July the 10th, the winner match 57 versus winner match 58 at St. Petersburg. And then Wednesday 11th, the July, it will be in Moscow. And then the third playoff on July the 14th on Saturday. Loser of the match 61 will play against the loser of the match 62 as well as in St. Petersburg. And then the World Cup final will be on Sunday, July the 15th in Moscow. So we'll have to wait next week for the result and who's going to be who and who's going to win over who. Then who will be the final pair for us to share and who's going to take home the World Cup 2018. So next week, I promise I'll have the updates because by next week, News and Views will be on air next week, which is Monday after the next, which is July the 16th. So by then I'll have all the results for you and who is the winner of the World Cup 2018 because by then it will be big news. So I will have the updates for you by July the 16th as well. So be sure to check back in then to see who the winner of the World Cup 2018 would be. Before we head out or before I wrap up today, I have one news from the ministry or updates from the ministry rather. So this took place 2 weeks ago at the end of June, and it says here that Deputy Permanent Secretary hosted the afternoon tea reception for the USABC delegation. On June the 28th, 2018, Mr. Thani Thongpakdi, Deputy Permanent Secretary of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Thailand, on behalf of Minister of Foreign Affairs, hosted an afternoon tea reception for the delegation from the US ASEAN Business Council, or USABC, on the occasion of their visit to Thailand at Vitet Samosan, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Present at the meeting were also high-level executives of the ministry. The Deputy Permanent Secretary welcomed the delegation, underscoring that this visit reflected the close partnership between Thailand and the US private sector. Without the support from the private sector, both domestic and foreign, the quick turnaround of the Thai economy would not have been possible. The Thai Prime Minister's visit to the US last year marked a high point in Thailand's bilateral relations with the United States. During that visit, the USABC and the US Chamber of Commerce, or USCC, hosted a reception for the Prime Minister and his delegation. Thailand values its trade and investment relations with the US. It is hoped that bilateral trade and investment between Thailand and the US will continue to expand in the coming years, given the opportunities available under the Thailand 4.0 and the Eastern Economic Corridor, or EEC, policies. In recent years, Thai companies have also been expanding their investments overseas, especially in the US. More than 20 Thai companies have invested over $6 billion, creating over 68,000 jobs in over 10 states. While Thailand enjoys a trade surplus with the US, Thailand has worked over the years to ensure an equitable and mutually rewarding partnership. Mr. Alexander Feldman, President and CEO of USABC, expressed his appreciation for the warm welcome and thanked the ministry for continuously facilitating meetings between American businesses and Thai agencies. He also stated that the USABC wishes to expand investment in Thailand and ASEAN and deepen its business partnership with Thailand, especially in areas promoted by the government under the Thailand 4.0 policy. The Eastern Economic Corridor, or EEC, the Digital Economy Policy, and the new and existing S-curve industries. Mr. Feldman expressed support for Thailand's chairmanship of ASEAN in 2019. He also offered his moral support to the ongoing search and rescue operation of teenagers and their football coach in Chiang Rai province. The USABC comprises leading American companies such as Chevron, Citibank, General Electric International Corporation's Company Incorporated, or GE, Apple, Microsoft, eBay, AIG, Ford Motors, Guardian Industry, and Harley-Davidson. This year's delegation comprised of 85 representatives from 39 USABC member companies that have invested in Thailand and ASEAN countries. These companies are grouped around 7 main clusters, namely energy and infrastructure, health and life sciences, food and agriculture, manufacturing and customs, financial services, and tourism. The Council has continuously played an important role in strengthening ties as well as enhancing trade and investment partnership between Thailand and the US during this year's visit between July the 27th to the 28th of 2018. The delegation paid a courtesy call on the Prime Minister of Thailand and held discussions with ministers of relevant agencies. Alright, I'm running out of time here, but yes, that's the latest updates I have from the ministry about bilateral relations. So yes, we have had a long-standing relationship with the US, not only in the private sector, but as well as in the public sectors as well. We have been closely working with the US government in improving bilateral ties as well as diplomatic ties. Okay, tongue-tied. I have to slow down now, but I'm running out of time. Anyways, before I go, here is the fun facts for today. You'll find a Z in Arizona, a J in New Jersey, and even 2 X's in New Mexico and Texas, but not a single Q in any of the US states. So linking, we've been talking about the USABC, so I might as well throw fun facts out there that there is no Q or no letter Q in any of the American states or the US states. So I guess if you're wondering if it's true or not, you can go over the 54 states and see if they have any Q, but by my knowledge, I know that there isn't one. So I suppose that is a fun fact for you out there to know, even all the Americans out there. If you don't know, then I suppose you do now. And before I go, so we've been talking about the rescue at the Chiang Rai province of the football team or the footballers, adolescents between age 11 of 16. So hopefully they will be rescued safe and sound as quickly as possible in no time and in no days to come at all. Then we talk about the World Cup. So we'll see by next week who is going to be the winner of the World Cup 2018. So whoever you're cheering, I hope that they'll pass through to the final, because I have no idea whom I'm cheering with, but I'm hoping that England will make it through to the finals this year as well. So okay, ending quote. It says here that happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. And this is Albus Dumbledore has said this, and this is from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So I guess he is right on that, because you can find the light in everything you do as long as you know how to find it. Life is not full of darkness, and there are actually times when you'll feel lost and scared, but there is always a light out there at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. So be sure to keep it up and do not give up. If you fall down, get back up again. That's the hardest part to do, but once you do, everything will be fine. And do the best of today, like I always said, because there'll be no regrets afterwards. So be sure to keep on fighting. Do not give up. And then you'll succeed in whatever you set your mind to. Anyways, that's it. So if you have any comments or you just want to say hi, be sure to write to me. I am Siddhi Prashumyat, and the address is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand, 443 Rama 6 Road, Ratchathewi District, Bangkok, Thailand, and the postcode is 10400. You can also check out our other programs on our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page at Saraญรม Radio. Saraญรมis spelled SARANROM. So be sure to check out and like our page at Saraญรม Radio. Alright, that's it for this week, and I'll see you again next week. Have a great week. Sweaty hat.
Mơ ไกลไปถึงดาวที่เคยจองเป็นดาวของเราก็ยังคงอยู่ที่เดิมให้พบเจออยู่ตรงนี้มองเห็นดาวและดวงดาวคงมองเห็นเธออย่างน้อยเราอยู่ใต้ดาวดวงเก่าเดียวกันหวังว่าเธอคงสุขดีอยู่ตรงนั้นเจอสิ่งดีๆฉันคงมีเพียงสิ่งเดียวทุกวันมีแต่คิดถึงอยู่ทุกครั้งที่มองดาวมีแต่คิดถึง ฝันของเรามีแต่คิดถึงมีแต่คิดถึงและบ่อยครั้งก็ทำให้เหงาคิดถึงเธอคิดถึงเธอเธอคงสุขดีอยู่ตรงนั้นเจอสิ่งดีๆฉันคงมีเพียงสิ่งเดียวทุกวันมีแต่คิดถึงมีแต่คิดถึงอยู่ทุกครั้งที่มองดาวมีแต่คิดถึงมีแต่คิดถึงเรื่องวันวานและฝันของเรามีแต่คิดถึงมีแต่คิดถึงและบ่อยครั้งก็ทำให้เหงาคิดถึงเธอคิดถึงเธอเฝ้าแต่คิดถึงได้แต่คิดถึงสิ่งที่สองเราเคยมีเฝ้าแต่คิดถึงได้แต่คิดถึงนึกที่ไรก็ยิ้มทุกทีมีแต่คิดถึงมีแต่คิดถึงอยากให้เธอ